Hey, I'm Shiva and I pilot the Madgear Blue Coral Racing Turbo Fuel RBS 15. So the purpose of this video is to explain to the spectators, my fans and sponsors on what went wrong and resulted in my first big crash at Drift Motion Volume 1.
So, what was your team's intention for Drift Motion Volume 1?
So basically we utilized 2023 to get some seat time behind the RBS 15. As people will know, previously I would have been piloting the drift pickup, and the switch between the two, it was not an easy transition. So we, in 2023, as much seat time as we could. I mean, we had some issues, we had some failures with some parts throughout the car. We had 2023 and the back end of 2023 to sort all that out and prep the car to give a full season in 2024 in Drift Motion. Put all our sponsors out there, and so I mean, on the day we arrived early, we arrived on time. That arriving on time is a key thing though, because it's 5 points. So I mean, we did arrive on time. We settled in, we got scrutinized, the car was checked out, perfect, no issues. I mean, I'll get in more in detail in that, into how we was so on point with having no issues on the day for being scrutinized, because I mean, getting up the event, the prep work that went into this car, I mean, was second to none, right? Second to none. And we had a couple of good passes inside at the beginning. I think I was comfortable, but I was not apparently, because breaking old habits when we're driving the drift pickup and the S15 in getting zones was, I mean, it's a big difference in length, right? So when I thought I was in the zone with the S15, I was actually a couple of feet away, and I then came back. I went back into the pit. I had a conversation with my spotter, and he explained to me exactly what I just said. I was actually a couple feet away from the zone, from being into the zone, and realized I had to go in a little deeper. And I mean, going in deeper is what resulted in my first big crash in the end, right? So, I did mention, as I mentioned before, we went in a little too deep into the zone. However, it had some other factors that led to that. One being the design of the course, or the course layout, was a little, I wouldn't say impractical, but I would say there were some issues. There were some issues that, I mean, would have made the drive a little more technical, being that the first outer zone, which is coming around by the crowd there, by the spectators, that zone was initially set at maybe close to 100 feet a zone, which is really big for being an outer zone, right? Especially on an initiation. And then the switching, the transition between outer zone 1 and outer zone 2 was so short, right? Which was, for me as a driver, for me it was the most technical part of the drive, right? So being that I didn't want to do the conservative initiation and just go in at the initiation zone, sorry. We go in there maybe like what, about 100 kilometers per hour or more, right? And a conservative initiation will just be, you pull the handbrake, you slide in, and then you get into the drift, and you set yourself in. But I mean, that's not me, right? I like to be the wild driver, do the more wild initiation, which is more like, if a weight transfer. That's what I really went for, right? So again, after speaking with my spotter, he told me I needed to go in a little more deep. So yes and no, from a driver perspective, there were things I could have done differently, and that wouldn't have happened, and still getting deep enough in the zone. But I mean, we were coming close to, we were trying to get all the best runs possible inside before we actually get into qualifying and competition and these things. So as mentioned, based on the course layout, I choose to do the more aggressive initiation, which was the flick entry. It costed us as a team, but as I say, the accident is something that I don't think I would ever wish upon any other driver, or the experience. I don't think I would ever want to experience it again. But I mean, to explain about how it felt from a in-car perspective, let me ask this spotter. Let me ask Stefan, which is my spotter, the spotter from Madgear. Let him give some insight.
Good day, everybody. Stefan. There was Auto Reckon and Transport, part of Team Madgear. How to start it by that day was eventful. That is how to start it. That day was very eventful. Being on the lines, the front lines, seeing Shiva make his 2 first passes, could tell that he was going a little more conservatively. He wasn't going as close to the barrels as he should have on the first initiation point. So when he came back into the pit, I told him, you know what, try to go a little more aggressive, try to go a little deeper. You're a little far away from the initiation point.
I think at that point is where I realized I was getting more. I think like I feel like I was still operating as if I was driving the
pickup.
Yeah.
So you know, when you come back in the pit, I was like, Shiva, going a little deeper. You need to go in a little deeper to clear the initiation point and continue the track that they had laid out. You need to go in a little deeper. So I was like, you know what? Here, well, let me go for a little ride. Went in the car with him.
I think at that point in time is when I realized, when he mentioned that I need to go deeper, I decided, hey, you know what? I don't think you see a conservative entry, you kind of slow it down plenty, right?
Plenty.
Now, in a qualifying run, that is actually good. You get your zones, you get your points. In a tandem run, which in the case I usually run, it kind of puts you at an advantage when you're doing a flick entry rather than a conservative just handbrake, e-brake entry now. Yeah, but basically, tell the spectators, tell the viewers here, you know, how you feel inside the car from the accident.
Honestly, that was one of the worst. It felt a lot worse than the car looked, right? From inside the car, that was the first run I went out with Shiva after we do all the work on the car. That was the first run after spotting. Say, well, alright. Shiva try a little harder to go deeper. With that, well, boy, that was it. The only thing I could have said was, oh,
I think that was the you know what? Let's drop in right here. Drop in the video where Stefan had from my inside.
Yeah.
And if you think that was bad, take a look at the outside view now.
I know that was wow.
Yeah, so that crash was pretty big, right? That was a big crash. I mean, when I come out of when I came out the driver's seat, I mean, give props to the management and staff at TDDA. They ensured that we were okay. They asked if we had any issues. They demanded, even though Stefan, I look at Stefan, that was my main priority, ensuring that, at that time as a driver, I didn't focus on the car. My main priority was really on the passenger at the time, which was Stefan. Hey, everything was okay with him. I asked him, hey, you're good, everything is okay. He was good. I was in a state that, still trying to process what was going on. But at that time, the only thought that was going through my mind, not at the extent of the damage, but hey, we're not going to give up today. We ain't giving up today. I immediately on the spot, before we even get checked out by the ambulance and was okay, I was already done assessing the entire thing. I was already start pulling on my phone, start making phone calls to find out who was in Rio Claro still, who could have brought up the parts to me. You know that.
I went for the record as soon as the crash done.
Yeah, but these guys I was demanded. Even when I went there, they told me, hey, I think Ian came and told me, hey, you know what? Stop. Leave the car. All the other drivers from Ramlochan, Nari, Toborav and the crew. Jerome didn't even drive that day, and he come out from the crowd and he come there. He was like, hey, don't study that, but just go and get yourself checked out. Everybody demanded, hey, go and get checked out by the paramedics, make sure you was good to go. Stefan didn't even study the paramedics. He run for the car one time because he's like, hey, you know what?
I
could have tell that you was already in your mind, even though we didn't talk that. I knew he was already thinking, hey, we're going to try to fix this.
Yeah. So I went back to the record. When I come back now, I'm missing Shiva, but I need Shiva to help me record.
Yeah, at that point in time I was actually in the ambulance at that time.
Yeah,
And
in the ambulance.
I can remember the paramedics asking me, hey, where was the passenger?
Yeah, where was the passenger?
When I say, well, the passenger is my record man, he was like, what? He said the passenger is the record man, so the record man go for the record. And I was just like confused at that time because I had my phone outside looking for numbers to see who was in Rio Claro still.
Same time the marshal was like, and you was the passenger? I was like, yeah. He was like, but go in the ambulance. I was like, no, I could. He was like, no. This is policy. You go in the ambulance, leave the record here, leave the car here, and you go in the ambulance, get checked out.
And I mean, that we give props to them, eh? We give props to them because, I mean, at the time, that is the utmost priority, which is, I mean, mandatory, right? But, I mean, as a team, as a determined team, we was already on the go down thinking about, hey, we run out that time, we looking for parts and whatnot.
We needed to get this car back up and running before qualifying.
Yeah. Let me actually give them a little reason. Let me let them know why it is we actually decided to fix this car, right? Because I mean, leading up to this event, you know, we went through countless nights. I mean, multiple.
I think it was like 2 weeks or more.
By more than that, I think.
Yeah,
right?
2 weeks or more. We worked behind this car.
Yeah, I think multiple nights. I mean, we had to Blue Coral Racing. I mean, right up to Blue Coral Racing.
Thank you, Bert.
I can remember what 12 o'clock in the night we went for parts, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
we run on the road.
Blue Coral Racing, I mean, that is #1 for parts first. For Team Madgear, Blue Coral Racing, Bert is our #1 part spot, right? Quality parts, any day, anytime. I think it had a day he actually had a family event, right?
He had a family event, he had a cook or something.
A barbecue,
yes.
Right? He had a barbecue, yes.
And this guy still went out of his way to leave that family line and come give us fuel to go to the show, you know.
Yeah. Now, I mean, that's where it is, right? And I mean, that is why we chose to fix this car, because we know it had sponsors who put their effort, they put time, they put confidence in we. You know, they had that in us now. So we didn't go on that day we didn't show up that day, as a matter of fact, for failure. We at least needed to put on a show.
Bring that car back up.
Bring that car back up on the track, put on a show, get some point inside, and line himself up in a good position for DM2. Because heading into volume 2 with 0 points would have kind of put us in a tight spot if we're looking for a podium finish. And I mean, to be honest, that is the goal. That is the goal this year, right? Put some strain on the other drivers. Show them that, you know, hey, just as the same aggressiveness I used to pilot this drift pickup,
you can pilot
that in the same way. And I think we still have a fighting chance.
We do.
Yeah, we still have a fighting chance after. I mean, we did manage to get back the car into qualifying. Two proper runs for qualifying. And that was with 0 alignment. Because after the parts,
we just eyesight a lineup.
Yeah. I mean, let me tell them, let me tell the viewers, right, how we actually get these parts to site. Yes, sir. So to get them parts on the track that day, I mean, you know, it was a serious challenge, and you could tell because how many times I was calling your father.
I mean, we call my father maybe every 5 minutes. This guy live Rio Claro, where we from, and probably reach Waterfield in maybe a half an hour to an hour time. A half an hour is unrealistic, but an hour time, more than likely.
Yeah. And you know the shocking part? He passed just outside.
Yeah. I mean, he bring cradle, he bring rack-end, he bring steering, and tension rod. Yeah. This guy bring up those things so fast. I mean, every 5 minutes she was like, hey, call him man, see where he reach.
How about how we was running to the gate and sit down waiting? People come and say, hey, what happened? How are you driving? I say, hey, I'm waiting on parts. And for them, we see him.
See that
to the van.
As soon as our parts reach, Shiva bust that door, grab that parts, held high, bye, straight back to the car.
Yeah. Now, I mean, watch me. It was what the viewers on or people on the outskirts, what they explained after to me is they said that it's something
Formula drift?
Yeah, something they would see in Formula drift for something unrealistic. They say the determination they saw in us, right? Just beating out, pulling. I mean, let's show them how we pull out the front end.
Let go. Other thing, go. Let go. Go. Let go.
Yes, so it was a challenge, but I mean, I will say full 100 towards Dewas Auto. Your father for getting these parts and them up to the track in record time from Rio Claro to Wallafield, right? Kudos, and I mean, I would support Dewas Auto. As long as we in motorsports, we will support Dewas Auto, right? I mean, in the time of need, he was there for us, right? And I think that's from the driver perspective, get me back on the track in order to put my sponsors, including yourself, out there. I think that made me proud that day. I didn't care for that, you know, we got knocked out in no, not in qualifying, but in the top 8, yeah, because we first battle was up against Nari, right? Yeah, against Nari, and I mean, and Nari probably had his fair share of gremlins that day, but I mean, we went in there with no alignment. I mean, the toe on the front wheel was way off, but we didn't have the time. I mean, the time was against us. I actually spoke to Farid. I actually asked Farid to actually run Pro 2 qualifying and competition back to back in order to give us a fighting chance. You know, and he did just that. So, you know, I mean, props to them. I mean, they understood from a team perspective what went on, what I mean, that we tried. One main thing though to note is that there was a change to the track before we went back out. So we qualifying run was actually the first time we had to drive the track, the new track, with the change, which in short terms they shortened that 100 feet first outer zone. The away shorter and way more practical drive then, you know. So I mean, yeah, we went into tandem with Nari. Nari won the tandem. I mean, I spin out actually because again, trying to go a little more on him, you know, trying to go up on him while I was in the chase and fighting bad alignment. It's challenging. I mean, drivers would know that. I mean, that's a challenging drive, right? But we still came out with some points, and I think that, you know, if it wasn't for a determined team, right?
We wouldn't have been able to make that.
Definitely not. I mean, great backing from a team, great backing from all the sponsors. Again, Blue Coral Racing, Big Papi Racing, Dewas Auto, Reckon and Transport, Splits, Split Shots Media, right? I mean, with all these guys, I mean, I don't think I would have had the how to put it, the enthusiasm. I would not have that drive to get back out there. I mean, in 2023 and even the years before, my sponsors never ever say, hey, okay, they turn their back on me as a driver and Team Madgear as a team, right? I mean, we fight hard, we fight some gremlins in the cars. I mean, John Mark from Big Papi Racing could attest to this. I mean, John Mark was John Mark came on the dyno. Yeah, John Mark came on the dyno all hours of the night just to facilitate us as our team.
I think we leave dyno what that day? I think it was like 2 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah, maybe around 2 o'clock. Yeah,
about 2 o'clock the next morning we leave.
Yeah,
we leave the dyno.
I mean that is nothing new to, I mean, people in motorsports. So nighttime is the best time to dyno. I feel like the dyno is only opening at night. Because when you go in nighttime, it's like everybody in the dyno. And Daryl, when you go there, Daryl always busy. Yeah, you're always busy. In the half time when Daryl empty. Yeah, I mean, you can remember too. At that time when we reached, there was like no cars. And when by the time we turn and come back, it's full.
Dyno was full.
So I mean, yeah, I think the video so far. I think this video could do. I mean, good to give an explanation. And you know, it was not. It was a combination of multiple factors. It was course layout, driver, vehicle. There was a combination of errors that led to my first big crash. And I would even go on to say, you know, as a team, the first big crash for the team. But you know what's the main thing? It's true as a team. I don't think it had anything that will stop we from achieving a podium finish.
We could come out at anything, and I see ourselves, you see, for this 2024 season, I see ourselves having a podium finish by the end of this drift motion competition. I could see that. the determination we have, not just we, but you see Shiva, the driver. I mean, he's the main guy behind this.
Nah, I wouldn't say main. I think as a team, I always like to say as a team. We as a team. As a team, yeah. I just one factor in it, but without you guys, without my team and the sponsors, I mean, look, we look, watch Cookie, right? Anthony Bristol, right? Cookie. He even take out the injectors from the car and give it to my car, right? Yeah, in order for me to get the car working how we want it, right? So I mean, it's a combination, everybody, right? And I don't think without me or without anyone on it, the team is just I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing without any one of us. So you know, there's no main person. I think it's a team, and I feel this year we gonna put sponsors. We gonna make the sponsors proud, right? I mean, again.
Blue Coral Racing. I already proud of it.
And we appreciate that. I appreciate that as a driver, and that just gives me more encouragement to go out there and put a podium finish for us in 2024. Right? So, I mean, as I say, big up to Blue Coral Racing. I mean, the Turco Fuel Matchback RBS 15. I mean, right?
Walking.
Trust me, the fuel works, right? The RBS 15 is fully lubricated and fueled by Turco products. Turco line of products. All these products it's available at Blue Coral Racing. Call up Bert. I mean, he will advise you for anything in terms of from oil, coolant, fuel, right? And trust me, any sort of advice you offer your entire bill, Bert is a good guy to talk to. A very good guy to talk to from Blue Coral Racing, right? Big up to they was auto wrecking and transport, right? I mean, we that record is fully equipped. There's nothing that we was lacking on that day when it comes to getting this vehicle repaired. Anything,
we had everything,
right?
We had tires, we had the jack, we had jack stand, we had strap stand,
everything
to pull the car apron to make it back, you know, straight enough so that we could come back out there.
Yeah, Big Papi Racing, John Mack. I mean, full props to this guy. Full props to this guy. I think John Mack is go out of his way to assist me as a team. Yeah, as a team. I mean, even on the day, John Mack was at the laptop trying to get, you know, when I tell him on a driver, you know, which I'm looking for, this, that, you know.
And you was experiencing a flat spot too.
Yeah, a little flat spot, yeah.
I mean, he sorted out that
one time. After the car works flawless, I mean, even the power that we make with the car, I mean, everybody was surprised, you know. I mean, for a simple build, right? Big up to Amir, right? From Shah's Auto Garage. I mean, Amir pulled us out in a time that, you know, we thought we was in a point of giving up at that point in time. Before we even get the car to the event, yeah. And Amir is actually the guy who assembled that the header block for that engine, right? So, yeah, big up to Amir. Big up to everybody that we're forgetting right now, that I am forgetting right now. Big up to everybody. I mean,
you see those people that on the day of the event that came and helped us fix that car without a question, without an answer, just came and, hey, you need a hand? They pull a spanner, no matter what it was. Big up to those people.
Yeah, and I would specifically like to mention and big up all the other drivers. It showed a great level of sportsmanship on that day. That majority of the drivers came and asked me if there's anything that I need that they have, they say consider it yours. Just if you're trying to get the car back up on the track, be with your full 100. You can go from Team Can, Turbo Rav, Mafia Padam, Roger's actually there trying to help. You understand? And he can't drive. He actually dealing with that alternator issue. You know, so he was there, right? I mean, from all Jerome, Avinash, Mario, Painless, everybody came and tried to do Shivani Bar, right? Everybody come and try to help out. And I mean, kudos to that. And I think from Team Madgear, look for we in DM Volume 2. And I just think we might do a follow-up video on how the S15 turning out
right now.
Yeah. We might just do it.
I think we should.
So stay tuned, Stefan.
I think have a sneak peek comment.
Yeah. From Team Madgear, big up splits. This video, I mean, you always will be full 100. I mean, there we go. DM Volume 2.
Whoa!